What's up, guys? My name is Patty Fatty Cake, and I recently got 99 runecrafting at this terrible minigame, and during the process of doing so, I encountered a ton of people that just asked questions the entire time, and I noticed that they're either like not watching other guides, or there's not really a concrete answer of how to do this, but I have done a ridiculous amount of Guardians of the Rift, as you can see by my beautiful pet here. And I would love to share with you just a little bit more about best practices, how to do it, and most importantly, how many shards you should mine. Requirements to play the minigame are super duper simple. You're going to need 27 runecrafting, which you're just going to automatically get from completing the Temple of the Eye quest and do the Temple of the Eye quest. Of course, in typical RuneScape fashion, you got to do some other quests, which is just the Rune Mysteries. It's a really quick, easy teleport around the map quest that you probably did in free-to-play. And then you also have to enter the Abyss at least once through the Abyss minigame thing where you help the Zamorak monk in Varrock. Getting there is very simple. All you have to do is have this Amulet of the Eye that you get from the minigame and just teleport on the amulet and it will get you right there. But if you're watching this guide, you probably don't have this amulet yet, as you do get it from the minigame itself. Probably the easiest way to do this is you're going to come down here to this little guy, the two heads in your bottom, and then you're going to go over to grouping. In this drop down menu, you're going to find the Guardians of the Rift minigame, and then you're just going to click the teleport and it will teleport you right to here. If you're on like a minigame teleport timer cooldown, guess what? You're just not doing the minigame right now. The other alternative is you can like teleport with the Necklace of Passage, the Fairy Ring, or like a Glory to Draenor if you want to run a marathon. And then run to the Wizard Tower, go into the basement, and go through this portal that you see on my screen here. This big boy. Yeah, that one. Because when you go through this, you end up just in the Wizard Tower basement. Next up, let's set up your inventory, and this is like a little bit contested, but I think most people will agree with me on this. You're going to want your rune pouches. Whatever your level is, just have the most amount of rune pouches possible so you can make the most amount of runes every time you go to the altar. This is really going to depend on the person, how many spaces this takes up. The other thing that's going to be extremely necessary is a rune pouch. If you don't have a rune pouch, don't do this minigame, go do LMS and go get yourself a rune pouch. It's extremely important. It saves at least 3, if not 4 spaces. The fourth one you get from the TOA raid, the Tombs of a Masket. And in this pouch, you are going to want, at minimum, we'll discuss the other runes that you're going to want shortly, but at minimum, you're going to want Airs, Astrals, and Cosmics because those allow you to do NPC contact. The reason you want NPC contact is if you can look at my pouch here, you can notice that it's a little bit of a darker color than normal. This means that it is degraded. For this pouch, this means that it can hold 5 less rune essences. So what you're going to want to do, if this is your first time, you're going to single click on it. You're going to find the Dark Mage. Click on him. It's going to take an annoying amount of time to contact the guy. And you're going to do option number 2 here. Can you repair my pouches? Spacebar, 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 and your pouch is a little bit of a light color, and you can hold all of the essence in it now. So that's why you need those runes in particular. Once you have contacted the Dark Mage, once Dark Wizard, I forgot the NPC name already, it was like 3 seconds ago, you can actually right-click this and just do the Dark Mage directly from this menu, which makes it so you don't have to go through the other menus. It's going to save you a little bit of time. What you're going to want to wear doesn't really matter too much, especially if you're watching this guide, you're brand new, you don't have the runecrafting outfit, you probably don't have a lantern yet, but what you're going to want to do is wear whatever fashionscape you think looks sick as hell. You don't need graceful unless you have like 20 agility or something. Like, you don't need graceful, don't bother with it. Graceful looks like shit anyways. So yeah, best fashionscape possible, mandatory, maybe some flippers, something along those lines. Wear your infernal cape, but you are going to be wanting to wield a dragon pickaxe. If you do get enough pearls for the outfit, which is probably why most of you are doing this minigame in the first place, you're going to be wearing that outfit so you get more runes when you create them. You're also going to want to wear a celestial ring, especially if you have charges in it. The charges do work at this minigame, so they are going to give you more shards and more rune essence things when you mine them. Varrock plate body, also another fantastic option if you don't have the robe tops. It's going to help you mine a little bit extra, and you'll see that when you're mining, because instead of the 5 EXP drops while you're mining in the minigame, you'll get a 10. You'll get a little tenner, which means you got a little bit of extra rune shards in there. Real quick, let's talk about lanterns. I'm making this guide for people who are probably too new to have a lantern, but if you do for some reason have a lantern, or you are just planning ahead for when you do spoon that lantern after your 10th rift pull, there's only 2 lanterns that you should really consider using. That's going to be the yew and the redwood. These are charged by using 6 of the corresponding log with the lantern. It does have a fire making requirement. 99 fire making is very fast, just get it, it's fine. I think 90 is the highest that you actually need. So what yew does, it is going to give you a 10% chance to double the amount of points that you get from performing an action in the game, which is feeding the Rift Guardian the rune essence stuff that you charged up during it. You got a 10% chance to double it. It's pretty sick, especially when you do combo runes to get a double on that. It's just a fat chunk of points. The yew is my favorite of the lanterns. The redwood lantern is also super sick. This is what I use for almost all of my grind to 99. It just makes this absolute lazy mode. It's the easiest one to do on mobile. Basically your pouches no longer degrade. It's awesome. You don't have to contact the Dark Mage. Friendship ended with Dark Mage NPC contact. You can ditch that rune pouch directly into the bank and just not worry about it. You just got your one colossal pouch, and that's all you gotta have in the inventory other than the other stuff that you get during the minigame. It's a beautiful existence, and you get 5% bonus runes, or a 5% chance to double, just like I talked about with the yew. Either way, there's not really like a best between the two. It's really depending on your playstyle. If you're super active and alert, I recommend the yew. If you are stoned as shit and just like don't want to deal with it, rock the redwood. Really quick, I did want to go over the reason why you are doing this minigame in the first place. Other than the experience, which should ultimately be the main reason why you're doing this, it's pretty good EXP, like 40, 50, 60-ish, like 55k an hour, topping out there. There are some sick rewards you can get from the minigame itself. The first one that I wanted to talk about is the lantern. It's about 1 in 700 pulls from the Rift Guardian. This one is probably gonna give you the biggest impact while playing the minigame, and honestly would be the best one to get first. I already went over the effects of it, so I'm not going to go into it in any detail, but the lantern's absolutely sick. The next one are dyes. To get a specific color, it's 1 in 1200, so I put it as 1 in 400 for any dye, because you can just exchange them and get the dye that you want anyways. These are for dyeing your runecrafting outfit to different colors. The red one is definitely the sickest. Next up, we have the Abyssal Needle. This is used for making the Colossal Pouch. You basically use this and your 4 other rune pouches to combine them into the Colossal Pouch, which you can start using at level 85 Runecrafting. Next up is the Abyssal Pearls. These are about a 1 in 7. If you average everything out, it comes out to 2.14 pearls per rift search. Which doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get that. I went extremely dry personally, but these are one of the best things you can get because these are the currency that you use within the reward shop. Before I do get into the reward shop, there is a specific pet that you can get from this game. It is 1 in 4,000. Also, you can get the normal runecrafting pet while runecrafting at the altars in the minigame itself. Moving on to the reward shop, you can get a bunch of different talismans and stuff, but I recommend you do not spend your pearls on these. The first thing that you're going to want to get is the runecrafting outfit. The full outfit is going to give you a 60% increase in the amount of runes that you receive. It doesn't affect the experience that you get, but you are going to make more money from all of the runes that you make over time. Next up is this Ring of the Elements. It's 400 pearls. It teleports you to the various elemental rune altars. Sells at this time of making the guide for about 1.2 mil. So if you are for some reason going for post 99 runecrafting experience, pet hunting, etc., it's a little bit extra cash in your pocket. Next up, we got the big boy. This is the I don't really know what it's called, but it is the pet transmog that you use on the normal runecrafting pet to turn it into the sick runecrafting pet that you see walking behind me in this guide. The name of this item is the Guardian's Eye, and it does cost 3,000 pearls to get, which, if we're going off of our average of about 2, is going to be about 1,500 rift pulls just for this item alone. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick playthrough of Guardians of the Rift. The first thing that you're going to want to do is find a mass world. You're not going to want to do a solo or a duo or something stupid like that. Don't bother, it's not worth your time. You can just go here to the world swapper and find one that has Guardians of the Rift next to it. Come here, and then you're going to click on the barrier, do peek, and then see how many people there are. If there's 200, hop to the next world down until there's a world with less than 200. Even this one with 190, a little bit iffy. I'm going to do it because if you look, the Guardian has 74% left, which means that it's going to be done soon. So that's another strategy too. If it's at like 10% and you can't get in, you might as well hop to another world that might be a little bit closer to finishing. Anything with like more than 30 or 40 people should be fine for you to do. You just don't want like a really small team on this one. While we wait, I did want to go over one really important thing really quick. You're going to want to come down here on your chat bar. On public chat, you're going to want to go and immediately click show none unless you do want to experience basically what is Wintertod, which is also basically the equivalent of when you were 13 years old playing Modern Warfare and you were in that COD lobby with a bunch of people who are just, you know, screaming obscenities, talking about their genitalia, etc. It's just generally unpleasant. Just mute your chat now. You will thank me. Hey you. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. So we are going to run in here. You are going to completely ignore the weak cells. That is for Iron Men only. They're supposed to place those so the rest of us mains can get maximum EXP. All joking aside, it is a good thing to place those in the beginning of the game. And then you're going to want to come down here using this agility shortcut and start mining the Guardian fragments. The biggest question that I saw over and over and over again, and just everybody in here giving the worst advice, which you're not going to hear any of that advice if you turn your public chat off, so you're not going to be getting any of it. But if you, for some reason, did not heed my warning, don't listen to a single fucking thing these inbred tell you. You're gonna hear like, leave at 200, leave at 150, leave at 170. That's a bunch of bullshit. So basically what you're gonna want to do is take the amount that your pouch holds plus all of your available inventory space. That is one inventory for you. You need 3 of those minimum. So basically what you're going to want to do is mine till you have that, and then you can start mining over depending on how much time is left in the game. But just know that the absolute minimum that you need is 3 inventories worth. Before I do show you a live playthrough, I did want to talk to you a little bit about the mechanics of the game itself, just so the gameplay makes sense, because it is going to move rather quickly. You do have to move quickly in a cycle to do this minigame effectively. So up here, left-hand corner, we have the Guardian power. Once this reaches 100, the game is won. If it reaches 0, the game is lost. The game can be lost by these barriers breaking or not being placed in the beginning, and the abyssal creatures coming through and killing our good friend, the Great Guardian. To get this up, we feed him the runes that we make throughout the minigame, and eventually, after we do charge him up enough, it will get to 100. Right here, these are going to be what runes you can currently make, with the timer in the middle being the amount of time until they change. To be able to make runes, what these actually give you access to are these guardians right here. These are going to be little portals that teleport you into the respective altars to make the runes. Funnily enough, it is the actual same altar from the normal game, so you will see some chumps, mostly bots, crafting runes through the abyss that way. To make runes, you're going to need to come here to the workbench. You do not need a chisel. So what the chisel is for is making these guys, the guardians. You can either make the catalytic or the elemental ones. You remember this from the tutorial that you got in the quest. They do give you points, and but they do take up an inventory space by using the chisel, and they do take a little bit of time to make. So it is a trade-off. Generally, people do say that it's worth it, but in mass worlds like this, there's a lot of other people making it, so it's likely that you will not get a chance to make one yourself. If you do have a chance to make one yourself, try to make the best one possible. It's better for everybody that you don't have a bunch of like dinky ass little guardians out there. Making runes. So to make our rune essence, we need guardian fragments. You click on this workbench here, and one per tick, your character will just automatically start making these guys. While you're doing it, I like to position my screen so I can quickly click between my pouch and the thing to not lose any ticks. So this way you just continuously make them, fill up your pouch, and so on and so forth. Once you have the full inventory of runes, mine is not because I'm making a video and paying attention to that, you're gonna select which rune you're looking to make. This really depends on what you're looking for. I like to keep a fairly even balance between my elemental and my catalytic points. So for this one, I'm just going to start off going into the air portal here. Basically, it's just like traditional runecrafting. You empty your pouch and you make all your runes. You can shift click to automatically empty your pouch with just a single left click. So you just hold down shift, click that, click the altar, click, 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 click. And you should very rapidly, even like 1 or 2 tick, make the entire inventory. You exit the portal and you'll be out here. All you have to do is click on the Great Guardian in the middle and you'll use your Guardian Stones on him, which charges him up. It gives you points in the respective category of rune that you made, either elemental or catalytic. This is also going to give you a cell depending on the power of the rune, the level of the rune that you made. Airs are the lowest one, so it's going to give us a weak cell. To use these, there's these little spots, the overpowered cell tiles, or just regular cell tiles in the beginning. And you basically just click that, and it should use your cell on this. It sometimes gives you experience depending on if the shield has any HP that you're healing. If it doesn't, you don't get any experience, but no matter what, you are going to get points for this, so it's still worth doing regardless. When you do want to deposit your runes, you don't have to drop them on the ground. If it's not really a very valuable rune, you can drop it on the ground. You just come here, deposit them on the the deposit pool, and then be on your way. Another thing to look out for is this thing in the upper left hand corner. This is a portal to the giant guardian essence mine. So you're going to want to prioritize these over anything, because mining these guys, the huge guardian remains, is going to be your fastest way to get essence in the minigame. So take those portals at every chance you can possibly get. There is a rhythm to it, and I will explain the rhythm in my playthrough. But yeah, basically just like making runes at the table, but a little bit faster, and you're mining them this way. Really quick, I did want to explain the point system within the game. For standard non-combination runes, I'll explain the combo runes at the end. For the standard runes, you're going to get 2 points per rune essence that you use on any of the altars, and then turn into the guardian dude in the center. The way that the points work is for every 100 points, you are guaranteed an energy in that specific category of rune, whether it be elemental, which are the 4 elements, air, earth, water, fire, or catalytic, which are any of your runes that are not those elemental runes. So like your deaths, bloods, chaos, cosmic, body, mind, I think law, and nature. There we go. That's all of them. There's no astrals in this minigame. No astrals. That's an abomination. They should probably add them. But basically that gives you 1 energy in each per 100 that you get. You need 1 elemental and 1 catalytic point to equal 1 rift search here in our friend the reward guardian. So over time you do want to even them out. If you are going to be doing a ton of this game, literally just don't worry about it. Like, you can worry about evening them out towards the end and just make whichever runes you want to, whichever the highest level ones you can, alternate between them. Really just you do you in this part of it. And there's really no wrong way as long as you just devote yourself to evening them out at the end. Cool. So here I'm just going to show you guys a live playthrough. I'm a little bit late to get started. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm not all too worried. So as I discussed previously, we are going to get as 3 full inventories worth of the shards, which for me is 93. So I'm going to go a little bit over that. And I will show you how we get into the cycle and how you just stay in that cycle throughout the game. Okay, we have 200. That should be good enough. I was a little bit late. Otherwise, I would normally get a little bit more than that. So I'm going to quickly run over here to the workbench and just get myself down to exactly the number that I need, which, remember, is 193. And with that, I'm going to race my way into the blood altar here. And this is basically our first run. It's not going to be very much, but it is going to give us a cell, which is the overcharge cell. And we got very lucky and we got a portal talisman, which allows us to enter that portal again, regardless of whether it's open or not. So gonna just use those on their respective places. I'm actually gonna drop these bloods because it's not really worth that much money. Then I'm gonna enter this portal. This is our first portal and we are now correctly in cycle in the minigame. Once we are out, you do not want to ever wait around for a portal. Once you get out, choose the one that you are going to go into and immediately go into it to keep up the rhythm. You do need to be somewhat fast about this so you don't miss any portals in the future. So same thing as before, just kind of rinse and repeat. Make your runes as you normally would. Use those bad boys on our friend the Great Guardian and use your cell on its respective place on the shields there. You can deposit your runes on there and then you're going to immediately want to make an entire inventory of the Guardian Essence here at the workbench. And for the record, when I'm saying inventory, I include the rune pouch. So fill up your rune pouch and fill up your inventory. That's what I mean by one inventory. Once you're done, immediately choose your rune and go right into it. You have almost no time to spare. I cut this one close, so I really have no time to spare. Make your runes, yeet the fuck out of there. And as you can see, while we were leaving, the eastern portal has opened up. You can quickly deposit both of those, drop the water runes, I don't really need them. And then you enter the portal and you continue the cycle. This will go on alternating every single game the exact same way. You're going to go into the portal, mine up the essence from the portal, do all the crafting, deposit the stuff, and then the next inventory, you're going to do the workbench. The inventory after that, you're going to do the portal, workbench, portal, workbench. And if you are quick about this, don't dilly-dally, don't wait for a better portal, etc. You should just continuously do this the entire round, and you should never be not doing anything. This is going to go through 3 cycles, which is why you mine 3 inventories worth of shards in the beginning, and that should get you the maximum amount of points and energies in both your elemental or catalytic, depending on what you are looking for. Okay, I've alluded to it a couple times so far in the video. We're here to talk about combination runes. What are combination runes, you might ask? They are elemental runes that contain values from 2 different types of elemental runes. Just looking at the top of my bank right here, I got some scattered. Yes, I do need to clean this up. But we're talking about things like the lava runes. It's a fire and an earth rune just smushed into one. You got smokes, you got mists, steams, you got all the different types, and muds. Muds are very good. Oh, they're there. The muds right there. I use those for challenge mode, Chambers of Zarek. Very nice to have. So to create these runes, it's the same way you do them in the normal game. You're going to want to get an item called a binding necklace. If you're going to be doing these during the game, get yourself a bunch of these. Just to start off, I'm going to crush that one and get us a new one. You're going to need a binding necklace, and then also you're going to need to have the ability to cast magic imbue, which means we're going to also need a water rune and a fire rune. I'm going to fix my rune pouch really quick, and I'll show you an optimal inventory for doing this. Cool, so this is what we're rocking with. We got our cosmics, non-negotiable. We need those bad boys. Astrals, also non-negotiable. And then we also have our airs, which we need for NPC contact. And then we are left with our fires, which are going in the pouch. And then our water runes, which we are going to be leaving out in our inventory. If you have not done enough Tombs of Amasket to get the 4 rune pouch, you can substitute out the air runes and the fire runes for smoke runes instead, because it's going to supply both of those for you. So there we go, there's the inventory setup, just assuming that we have a 3-spot rune pouch instead of the 4. Regardless of having the 4, we still want some runes into the inventory, because that is, it comes into play with how you actually make the combination runes themselves. I'm going to wait, join a game, and I will show you exactly how we do this. While we're waiting, I do want to go over why you would do this. Combination runes give you 1.5x the amount of energy as the normal elemental runes do. So instead of having to do 3 inventories to equal the same amount of points, 2 inventories worth of elementals will equal that 3, which will allow you to get more points, more energy over more games, which equals more rift searches in a shorter amount of time. Without combination runes, I was getting between 10 and 12 energies per game. With them, is usually between 12 and 14. So you can estimate that you're probably, depending on RNG, going to get about 2 more points per game using combinations than you would otherwise. Cool, so with the combination runes, you're just gonna do the same runs as normal. It's a normal GOTR for basically every possible reason except for the elemental runes. The thing is, the inventory that we're rocking with here, we got the waters in the inventory, which means that we cannot make combination runes when it's a water rift open. We have to wait for any of the other ones. So say we got air here, just for example's sake, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go into the rift, you cast magic imbue, which only lasts for a little bit of time, and then you use the water runes on the altar. Don't just click on the altar, it's not going to make them. You have to use the runes on the altar. I'm not sure exactly the amount of time that you have in between casting magic imbue and doing this. It's a reasonable amount. You don't have to really rush it. Don't misclick over it. But yeah, just get to the altar, cast magic imbue, click rune, click altar, empty pouch, click rune, click altar, repeat. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my guide. I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. If you do have any other questions about GOTR or no, let's just keep it Guardians of the Rift in this one. Just pop them down in the comments section below. I'm pretty active with looking at those at least once a day. I will get them. Feel free to flame me in the comments as well. It boosts the engagement, so love to see it. If I helped you out at all, please help me out. Like the video, subscribe to my channel for more RuneScape content, and I will see you guys all next time.